Huge shout out to Modwain and Lauren because he got my gears turning on this issue regarding plutocracy. Hello everybody, I am the Dark Conservatarian here with a little rant vlog for you. And so, on a stream one time with Modwain and Lauren on his stream, Modwain's House of Fun, we were talking about capitalism, and I brought up the term crony capitalism and corporatism, and he brought up the correction that that is actually plutocracy. It is not capitalism. And so I would like to thank him and go ahead and check out his stream. I'll have his stream linked down below for you to check it out yourself. At least I think that's the correct stream that I am linking down there. I mean, if it's not, Modwain, correct me. But in that stream, I mentioned crony capitalism / corporatism, and he said that is not capitalism at all, that is plutocracy. So to give out the definition of plutocracy, government by the wealthy, a controlling class of the wealthy. This from Merriam-Webster, by the way. And so basically, plutocracy is the same thing that what we Americans keep on classifying as crony capitalism. But it's kind of a wrong terming for us to keep on calling plutocracy crony capitalism because it's pseudo capitalism. And basically, if you have pseudo in front of some word, that means that it is fake. That is a fake something. Like, in the same way that Gary Johnson is a pseudo-libertarian, he's actually a fake libertarian. In the same way that Candace Owens is a pseudo-conservative, she is actually a fake conservative. Just like in the same light that crony capitalism is pseudo-capitalism, is fake capitalism, which is basically not capitalism at all. And also offering up Merriam-Webster here, I would probably read whole papers for you on this issue. But the thing is, I like to do basic bitch stuff like reading up the dictionary. So the definition of capitalism: an economic system characterized by private or corporate ownership of capital goods, by investments that are determined by private decision, and by prices, production, and the distribution of goods that are determined mainly by competition in a free market. No mention of government intervention into the economy under the definition of capitalism. So basically, if the state was to own an industry, well then that means that it is publicly owned, which means by definition that is not very capitalistic. That ain't very capitalistic. That's not a word, but still. And also, expounding on this point, there is an article from The Hill here. I'll probably read this article on a later episode of Strike Force. But for right now, I just want to read a little excerpt without reading the whole article. You can check out this particular Hill article down below in the description that I'll provide a link for. But just a little excerpt from it. They are confusing the free market with something like its opposite. Today's gamed and rigged, government-dominated economic system, wrongly represented as and believed to be a true free market economic system by friends and foes alike, it must be noted. It's not necessarily easy to determine when a specific economic transaction isn't truly free in the sense required by sound free market principles. Considering the question in the abstract is somewhat more straightforward. Either one party is subject to duress in the exchange itself, or the exchange takes place in an environment shaped by coercion, corrupted by anti-competitive privilege. For example, government-granted monopolies and licenses, subsidies directly or indirectly as cost offsetting, and bailouts, like during the 2008 economic crash here in the United States. The list could go on. Yeah, tariffs, for example. If I was like the writer here, I would put tariffs under that as well, because in yesterday's Strike Force, I was reading an article talking about of how tariffs are a form of plutocracy because they rig the game for some failing companies to keep on staying in business. And so therefore you have all that money trapped into a failing business that needs to be put on artificial life support, government-run life support in order to stay afloat. And if a government if a company cannot stay on its own, well then that shows that business ain't worth its salt. But yet they are rigging the game for themselves by having the government give them all these advantages like subsidies and bailouts and tariffs and whatnot. Each such form of privilege is a special case of favoritism that could be its own article or series or book. as a name for this system created by the government and ruled by its friends' moneyed commercial interests, we might quite justifiably, if surprisingly, borrow the Marxist concept of state monopoly capitalism, or crony capitalism, more popularly referred to nowadays. The seedy history of this corporate monopoly system gives the lie to the deeply confused notions that government is the harmless and attentive protector of the poor and powerless, and that the United States has ever been the home of unadulterated free enterprise. As a matter of historical fact, government actors have helped the modern corporation avoid competition, building and concentrating its power. So there's more to this article right here, but I'm not going to read the whole thing as that would take a little bit too long. But you get the point. So government intervention into the economy, they're explaining, is crony capitalism, or as the Marxist term of state monopoly capitalism, which I think that this Hill writer right here is giving too much credit to Marxists by going along with their terminology and calling it state monopoly capitalism, when really we are giving too much credit to socialists by keep on referring to plutocracy as corporatism, and more importantly, state capitalism. Like literally, I've thrown around the term state capitalism crony capitalism, excuse me. I've thrown around the term crony capitalism on a stream once in the chat, and then the socialist was all like, all capitalism is cronyist. And I was like, no, not free market capitalism if you have no government intervention into the market at all. But that's the thing. We are giving too much ammo for these socialists and other far economic leftists by keep on referring it to crony capitalism or even corporatism. What it is more specifically called is plutocracy. And so, that's all I have to say. I'm the Dark Conservatarian. Check out Modwain's channel. He's a pretty smart guy. He has pretty smart hosts on his streams that are very well read, I would say. And I would like to thank him again for bringing up this subject of how we are mislabeling crony capitalism as crony capitalism, when really it's just plutocracy. If he wants to have a stream expanding on this point, or make a video expanding on this point or something like that, well then I would highly welcome it. But anyway, that's all I have to say. I'm the Dark Conservatarian. I'll see you all in the next video. God bless and goodbye.